Alright, buckle up today because there's going to be a ton of computation work here. So, write really small. Try to keep track of all your work because we're going to incorporate everything that we have learned today. And you're going to see it's going to take 5, 6, 7 steps to solve one problem here today. We're going to work with algebraic proportions here. And proportions are when we have two fractions that equal each other and we want to find one of the missing numbers. This is kind of like a proportion that you would have done in junior high. Okay, and so sometimes you can do this of saying, hey, 3 times what is 6? And you could have said, when they're nice easy ones, times 2, and so 4 times 2 is 8. So our x here equals 8. But we got problems now when sometimes it's like this that, more complicated problems. And so what we want to do is be able to use algebra to get that same answer there, okay? And so here's what we're going to do first is number 1, we're going to cross multiply. So what that means is if I have an a over a b and I have a c over d, I'm going to cross multiply these guys. I want to take a times d and I want to write AD and I want to put an equal sign in between them, and I want to take b times c, which would be BC. And that's what we're going to do to solve it. Okay? So after we cross multiply, then number 2, we're going to use the distributive property if necessary. And then thirdly, we're going to solve for the variable. So now, even though we already solved problem number 1, let's do it if it was more complicated. So sometimes I like to work with my x's. If I only have one x, I'll multiply this way first. And 3 times x is just 3 x's. And 6 times 4 is 24. So I cross multiplied this way, and then I cross multiplied this way, but notice I set them equal to each other. And so now it's just one step to get that x by itself. And I got x equals 8, just like we had up above. Okay? But sometimes it's a little bit more complicated. Some kids would do this. Hey, I know 2 times 2 is 4. And so 10 times 2 is 20. I need this to be a 20, and so I think in my answer here, n has to be 15. Again, that would be a very nice, easy mental math one. But let's do it using algebra. All right, so I'm going to multiply this way first. So that means 2 times, and you have to put this in parentheses, n plus 5. I would also recommend that you write it up here. Excuse me. Because it's going to take a lot of steps as our problems get more complicated. And write small, okay? Now I'm going to multiply this way, and I know 10 times 4 is 40, so I can just do that right now in my head. Okay, I'm not going to write 10 parentheses 4. I'm just going to multiply that. Now, just like we've been practicing all week, I need to take 2 times n. I need to take 2 times 5. And now we're on step 3, get the letter n by itself. And so that's all I'm going to do now is say get the n by itself. We should be really good at this by now. If you've been doing your homework, I guarantee you'll be good. And look, we got n equals 15 just like we had up there. Now, you can't do mental math on this one, because how can I go from 2 to 5? That's not going to work out nice and easy like these two. So this is why we have to have a plan. So, again, it doesn't matter which one you multiply first. I'm going to take the 2 times y, and then I'm going to put my equal sign, and now I want to do this guy. Now, when you have a binomial, 2 terms, times 1, I want to put the 5 out front, and I'm going to put y minus 3. So it gets back to that property of it doesn't matter if you take 5 times y minus 3 or y minus 3 times 5, but I want to do it this way so that I can keep track of my work. Alright, so I'm going to bring that 2y down, But now I need to take that 5, this is step 2 up above, 5 times everything inside the parenthesis. And get the y by itself. Now at this point, I don't care that my y's are going to be negative. When I'm solving something like this on proportions, I'll just try to keep that y over here on the left-hand side. Alright, I want to get a minus 3y, but I'm just going to be more careful about that negative sign that I got right there. Okay, so I'm not going to try to keep my y's positive at this point. So all I need to make sure is I multiply or divide by a negative 3. And already by now, we've said this about a bazillion times. Negative divided by negative is a positive. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay, so hopefully you got that worked out. Alright, next one. I got a binomial and a binomial. Binomial means there's 2 terms there. And I'm multiplying. I'm going to cross multiply. So it doesn't matter if you say 3 times k plus 9 on the left side equals 5 times 2k minus 3, but it does have to go in parentheses, these guys. You could have done it this way and put the 5 and the 2k minus 3 on this side, and then the 3 and the k plus 9 on that side. It doesn't matter. Alright, do our work like we practiced earlier. Again, I'm just going to get my k's to the left side. I'm not even going to care if it's a positive or a negative, because it's going to be a negative here. I have no idea what negative 15 and negative 27 is. I do know it's going to be a negative something, because I got negatives and I got some more negatives. So get into that habit. We talked about that. Calculator not working here. I got a minus 42. And my last step is divide by a negative 7. So k equals positive 6, because negative divided by negative is a positive. Okay? So now, on this guy, where it says you try it, this is where I would pause the video on each one of these problems, and then, you know, when you come back, fast forward it to where you can see my answer here. And if you got the answer, just go to the next one. Pause your video, do this problem, fast forward it to where you see my answer, and if your answer matches, well then great, go to number 3. But if it doesn't match, well then backtrack on your video and go see where we made our mistake as I walk and talk this through. Okay, so you got a lot of problems here. This took me like probably 30 minutes to make my answer key here today, so you got a lot. But with that practice, you will get faster, and that's why we give so many problems. We want you to be able to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to cross multiply. 8 times x is 8x's. That's going to be a 3 times x plus 10. And you just go to work. So, if you fast forward it and you saw that you got x equals 6, you're on the good track. Alright, pause the video, try doing number 2. Now again, make sure you write tiny, but clearly. negative divided by negative is a positive. And I hope you got P equals 3. Alright, keep on. Don't wait. And it doesn't matter if you put the 6 times W plus minus 2 on this side and the 3W on that side. Either way, doesn't matter. Just be careful of this negative sign there. That's a minus 3Ws. And now when I go and divide by a negative 3. Alright, so I'm not going to say it anymore. Just again, fast forward to the answer on the next one. Pause your video and see if you get the same answer there. If not, backtrack your video a little bit and let's see where you made your mistake. Or sometimes you can just look at your work. So you're not going to hear a whole lot of talking from me today. Just multiply it out, compare your answers. We got a lot today because we got a whole nother page here, 16 math problems just in the guided notes here. Okay. I'm not sure about this guy here quick because I got a positive 9 on mine. No, I think it's a negative 9. I'm seeing that right there. Oh, I see. My negative sign blended in with my equal sign. So we're good there. Oop, I know what 3 times 25 is. I want to get that guy right out of the way right now. That's 75. One of the common mistakes kids make is they'll take 5 times f and then they just put a plus 2 there. They don't take the 5 times 2. Okay, so that could be if you didn't get the correct answer there. That's probably where you made your mistake. And now look at how fast. Let's see, 65, calculator. I'm getting 13. Alright, so you can see how fast we're getting at this, I hope. Okay, alright, we got a whole lot here. We got a whole page. So I'm going to go through all these guys. You're not going to hear a whole lot of talking from me unless I see something that sometimes crops up. But again, just do the problem, pause your video, do the problem, fast forward it to the answer, check it. Got it right, move on to the next one. All right. Okay, hopefully you did good on that one, got 5. I want to do this one first because it doesn't matter which way you multiply. If you're listening, try to box your answers because when I'm grading lots of papers, I just want to see where your answer is. So that helps me grade quickly. Uh-oh, that one doesn't match my answer. Let's see where I boo-boo. 2 minus 16. I like that. Subtracted 5v's from both sides. That's a minus 3v. 16. Add 16. That's 6. I like that. I like that. Oh, I multiplied here. Silly me. You're probably screaming at me. How about -2? I like that answer. Alright. Sorry about that. It happens. So 36 plus 8. Get -28. Last step. Let's get rid of that 2. I don't know if we really need to do this many plus our homework. I think you're kind of getting the hang of it. I want to do all 6 of them just in case you're really trying to get this all done. With more practice, you get better and faster. You can see already you're getting faster. Oops, I do my little loop-de-loos. Starting to take a little bit of a shortcut there. Got a 1 there? Good for you. Go on to the next one. I'm getting kind of tired here, but I'll stick it out. 16 problems what we got here. I want to do this guy first. Well, that one wasn't so bad. Now, I want to check my work here because I had a positive 18 on this one. Let's see if I did it right. 24. Oh, there's my problem. That's a minus x right there. So this is a minus x. I need to divide by a negative, whoops, negative 1. So that's what I'm talking about, boy. You have to be kind of careful. That was a minus x right there. All right, 2 more, and then you're off on your own. last one, finally. Alright, 9x minus. Somewhere I boo-booed here. Let's see what I did. 9x, that's plus 3. Did I write the math problem right? Yeah. 20x minus 10, minus 20, minus 20. Oh, there's my problem. This is 9. No, that's 11x's. Oh, I see my problem. Oh my goodness. This was a 5 right here. So I want to erase everything. Oh my goodness. Very last problem. I'm not going to redo the whole video. So this is a 5 right there. So that's 15x plus 5. 20x minus 10. Alright. Hopefully you didn't catch that one. Didn't copy the problem down correctly. And now I'm on my last step. Hip hip hooray. Negative divided by negative is a positive 3. Alright, I'm going to get rid of that x. When people look at it, they know it's a nice x. Alright, so once again, box your answers. Let's see how many homework problems you have today. Looks like 12 of them. Whew, that was a lot of work right there just on the guided notes. Alright, with that, hopefully you finish your homework. Hopefully we'll see you in school tomorrow. Alright, talk to you later.